Good evening, everyone. Like and subscribe if you believe the video. Now, what I want to talk about is Hebrew Israelites manifesting our spiritual powers. But before I can do that, I must address those people who have tried to usurp our ethnicity. Now, I'm not going to put myself into a ridiculous argument or conversation that can be proven or disproven by Moses if you read Deuteronomy 28 of the Bible. It states clearly who God's chosen people are and that our God's chosen people would be slaves and would be sent all over the world. This can also be verified by Jesus when he says that Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jewish converts are not God's chosen people. So where do we get God's chosen people from? We get it from Deuteronomy 28 in the Bible. That's where we get it from, and it gives us an explanation of who God's chosen people are. So it's all in that one chapter. So if you take the, and there is nothing else that substantiates who God's chosen people are. Now, Jesus even goes further in Revelations 2:9 and 3:9 and states who the usurpers are. So if you don't, and one of the reasons why I have to believe in the Bible, because the Bible was written years ago, but the prophecy that people would try to usurp our ethnicity is true. So if that's true, then evidently the Bible is true and it is not fake. And if you want to call the Bible fake, then you'd have to discredit it and put it under the under critical race theory, or just burn it up or burn it up and tell people to stop reading it. Now, if you are an awakened Jew, you have work to do. The first thing you must do is be able to prove that you are God's chosen people. And that's simple. You simply go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and anybody who questions you, you send them to Deuteronomy 28, and then you go on about your business. You don't debate it. And if they tell you that Ashkenazi or Sephardic Jews are God's chosen people, you tell them to go to Revelations 2:9 and 3:9. You can also tell them that Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews came from Russia, and the part of Russia they came from was Ukraine. Ukraine was part of the USSR, United Soviet Socialist Republic. I think I said that right. It disbanded so it's either United Soviet Socialist Republic or the United Socialist Soviet Republic, one or the other. So, if you can prove who you are truthfully, then that is knowledge. And you have to have faith in knowledge. If you do not have faith in knowledge, then your mind can be changed. Faith must be based in truth, and truth equals knowledge. The acceptance of the Bible as God's word is proof that the Bible is true. What I'm going to tell you in these next few minutes is going to be important. Now that you have Deuteronomy and Revelation to back you up, you must follow the Ten Commandments. You must follow the Ten Commandments. One of the things that I want to tell you about in the Ten Commandments is the reason why you should not eat pork. You need to know the facts. You need to know the truth, which is knowledge, which can support your faith in that particular commandment. Now, you have to follow the Ten Commandments. And the Ten Commandments tells you, do not eat pork. Now, if we go to Luke 8, verse 30 to 34, you'll know why you should not eat pork. Because a lot of churches are telling you it's okay to eat pork, and it's not. Because when Jesus exorcised the devil out of the legion, he places the evil into the swine. So when you eat pork, now, if you go from the known to the unknown, you rationalize that evil spirits can be more often than not found in pork. It can be in pork. Now let me read you. And if you don't believe me, but figure it out for yourself. I'm going to lead you to the spiritual waters. Whether you drink or not is none of my business. My only job is to lead you to the spiritual waters, and when you're thirsty, then you can go there and drink. So let's read Luke 8, verse 30 to 34. And Jesus asked him, saying, what is thy name? And he said, Legion, because many devils were entered into him. So I guess he meant that there were legions of devils entered into him. And they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep. And there was there an herd of many swine feeding on the mountain. And they besought him that he would suffer them to enter into them. So evidently, they came out of the swine, and he suffered them. Then went the devils out of the man and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and were choked. When they that fed them saw what was done, they fled and went and told it in the city and in the country. So here you see, Jesus used the swine to exorcise the evil, the many evils out of the man. And he called himself a legion, meaning there were many devils within him. So if somebody asks you why you should not eat pork, it's because pork contains demons. And when you are exorcised, if someone has demons in them, you can exorcise the demons as Jesus did into the swine. I wanted to explain that because of the rest of the Ten Commandments seem to be pretty logical. I also have told you, those who follow me, I've also told you what you should eat in accordance with being an awakened Hebrew Israelite. Now, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about eating kosher, and I'm not going to worry about eating kosher. I'm just going to obey what is said in the Bible, and it seems to work for me. Something else I think that you should do When the disciples asked Jesus about praying, he gave them the Lord's Prayer to say. So I would suggest that you learn that by heart and that you say that. Now, I've gotten through that. This is about your spiritual manifestation and manifesting your spiritual powers. Your body lives in an integrated society, but your mind must be segregated. Your mind must be segregated. Your physical body has to be integrated. And what I mean by this is this. Get rid of all negative energy, which means get rid of all negative people in your life. Get rid of all negative people in your life. You must concentrate on positive energy. You need positive energy to raise your spiritual polarity. You need positive energy. Negative energy will only keep your spiritual polarity down. It is an interruption. It's like trying to run a race with a 10-pound bag of potatoes on your back. You're not going to make much progress. You got to get rid of all negative energy. I don't care who that person is. You have to get rid of negative energy in order to manifest your spirituality. You have to get rid of negative energy. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your sisters, your brothers. I don't care who it is. You have to get rid of negative energy. Mentally, you have to get rid of it. You can't have them because God doesn't want you arguing and debating with people. His word. God doesn't want his word interrupted. And you know yourself, if you are smart enough to be a Hebrew Israelite, then you are smart enough to realize that you have to remove negative energy from your mind. Your mind must be segregated from negative energy. Your body, which is mortal, is going to be around negative energy. But you don't have to mentally involve yourself with it. Do not mentally involve yourself with negative energy. And when you remove negative energy, there's only one thing left. It's positive energy. But understand this. Negative energy is always attracted to positive energy. Negative energy is attracted to positive energy. So, when you remove the negative energy, whether it be mother, father, sister, brother, doesn't matter, it's going to be attracted back to you. And when it is attracted back to you, remain positive. Remain positive. And don't let them be a distraction. Remain positive. Because the reason they are coming back to you is because of your positivity. It is because of your positivity. And if they try to debate you, don't get into it, because the only thing they're going to do is drain your positive energy. Do not allow people to drain your positive energy. And if you have to bodily, physically remove yourself from them, then physically remove yourself. Don't let them absorb your energy. Don't allow that to happen. Don't allow that to happen. And when you speak to them with authority. Speak to them with authority and facts. You have to speak to them with authority and facts because facts are necessary to build your faith. Facts is truth. Truth is knowledge. And you need facts. Your faith must be rooted in facts. Your faith must be rooted in facts. And that's how you get your strength. That's how you get your strength. That will increase your vibrations and raise your polarity. Everything is a matter of degrees. Everything is a matter of degrees. Think of water. It goes from cold to hot. Everything is a matter of degrees. Negative energy will bring your degrees down. That's called bringing your polarity down. Don't let people pull down your polarity. You get rid of all the negative energy and all you have is positive energy. And positive energy feels good. Positive energy feels good. It feels good. Don't let people suck out your positive energy because the only thing that leads to is stress. Get rid of stress. That is negative energy. I don't think that I can say this enough. This is the most important thing that you do. After you realize and you can prove that you are a Hebrew Israelite, then you follow the diet. You follow the diet. And if they say something about pork, then you tell them why you don't eat pork. This is the reason why. Say the Lord's Prayer at least once a day. Because when the disciples asked God, how should I pray? He gave them the Lord's Prayer. And if you are a Hebrew Israelite, then you are a disciple of God. And when you talk to somebody, be able to prove it. Be able to prove it. And then if they say they disagree, then to tell them they are not disagreeing with you. They are disagreeing with the Bible. I believe in the Bible, so conversation is over. The conversation is over. If you don't believe in the Bible, then we're walking in two directions. So now you walk away from that negative energy. Walk away from that negative energy because a lot of so-called pork-eating pastors that put on a show running from this side of the pulpit to the other side of the pulpit getting worked up. They will tell you to ignore certain parts of the Bible. And who are they to tell you what to ignore and what not to ignore? Segregate your mind. When you segregate your mind, you pull your body away from integrating with negative energy. When you segregate your mind, you pull your body away from integrating with negative energy, and they can't stress you out. Your vibrations will speed up, and as your spiritual vibrations speed up, your polarity will go up. I'm going to throw something at you. And they call this a natural antibiotic. But if you are on the right track and you drink this and you make this natural biotic and you drink it, you will feel your spiritual vibrations going up. And I will leave this in the description. The only problem, a lot of people make it in a lot of different ways, but I'm going to say this. Where some people use honey, do not use honey. Use maple syrup B because it goes straight to the bloodstream. I don't use honey or neither do I put lemons in it. But this site does that. But putting honey and lemon in it will make it more palatable. But anyway, don't use honey. Use the maple syrup bee. And if you have a question about it, then leave it in the comment section. I'll read it and I'll see if I can answer your question. Another thing, if you have a lot of times if you have questions, ask God. You are God's chosen people. Ask God. If you believe in God, ask God. And God will either tell you a book to read or God will answer your question. With that, have a nice day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.